newborn twins. Congratulations, Mr. Moore and Miss Nicole Moore and Connor and I'm sorry, what's his daughter's name?
Whole family.
The whole family. I apologize, daughter. Next time I see you, I will apologize to you. But yes, Wednesday morning, the package was delivered. Miss Moore delivered the package, and once again, congratulations. I know we've been talking about it for the past few months that they were pregnant, and now they are unpregnant. Now they are here.
What a week! What a week to deliver
yes,
life.
Yes, they are born in the midst of chaos, so to speak. But that could be a sign.
In the midst of change.
Yes, and that could be a really good thing. So, with that being said, I want everybody to sit back, relax, and put your mind at ease. Westside Wheels on top to take you to your next stop in this first hour of the Kendall Moore Show. What's new? What's hot? Before we kick the show off, I want to make the customary rounds on the show and say hello to the one and only sultry queen of the traffic scene.
Yes.
Miss Robin Lewis. Greetings, Your Highness. How are you? I tell you, you got another career.
Look, did you need that laugh this week? You needed that laugh.
She got another career, I tell you. I'm like, oh my God, you can make some money. Hey. With a voice like yours, babies will be born, Robin. Definitely. Yes. The rest of the lit crew is in the building. I'm here with So Dope Sandra. What's up, Sandra?
Hey, everybody.
Netta Beretta is in the building. Welcome. Naya Fire is in the building. And also we have a very new addition to the Kendall Moore family. I want everyone to say hello to Mr. Isaiah Moore. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Maybe when he gets a chance, if you're watching the Facebook Live page, he'll flash. You'll see him. But he is here. We have a new person on the team, and we appreciate him very much. Very nice young man. We appreciate him very much. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, with that being said, also I want to thank everybody out there listening
After this
to us
break.
on WVON AM, WVON.com, the Facebook page. What else is there? iHeartRadio. Those watching us on the Kendall Moore page, and all around the world. What can I say? Okay, so
How are you doing this week? Let's just start here. How are you today, right now?
I'm okay. I'm chill. You know, it's like a week ago. Yeah, a week ago. It seems just like yesterday because it was less than a week ago that we were talking about things happening. We were talking about what everybody's been talking about: George Floyd, the death of George Floyd, and you know, of course, we know after we left the show, there were all-night repercussions.
I mean, it almost feels like night and day between the time we were on the show Friday and like Saturday night.
Yes.
Into Sunday.
Yes.
Cause I can remember I was out on Saturday. I walked to Hyde Park and people were out, and it was like a regular day. And then Sunday,
Really?
just completely.
Sunday, it hit Sunday for
Yeah.
you? No. When I left here and I went home, the minute I got home in the bed, I did not sleep all of Friday night, Saturday morning. I was up all night because I was watching what was taking place on Facebook. And everybody going live on the protest. And I'm like, it's 3 in the morning. Y'all down here doing that? Really? Really? They were dedicated. What can I say? And then it went on all day Saturday. So, I mean, that was really something, you know. And, wow, I was speechless, you know. And it's funny, we had just had a really good show, I was told. It was a really good show, an informative show. And, you know, next thing you know, that's what happened. But it's been 7 days now, and change is starting to happen because of a lot of change that went on during the weekend.
So
You know, did you see anything funny or, you know, did you see anything? Did you see any protesters?
I didn't participate in any, but you know, definitely couldn't miss it. Just so I feel like a million lifetimes in one week. Like it's hard to even wrap my mind around. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
So much has happened, and literally going from every emotion. Not even day to day, but within the same day. So feeling anger, feeling fear, feeling sadness, feeling frustration. But I think where I'm at now, as we're at the end of this week, a little bit hopeful.
Okay.
Like really looking at, okay, this is happening. This train has left the station. So this is happening right now. So if I'm on this train, because we're all on this train, if I'm on this train, where am I moving this train to? How am I moving on this train? So just trying to look at how to be helpful, how to be impactful, and
wow, you were trying to figure it out, man, because there was a lot of stuff happening, right?
It was a lot.
It really was.
It was a lot.
It really was.
It was a lot.
And it was a lot to absorb at once, because I tell you, we went from the protests, because I live on the west side. There ain't no secret. I live in the Austin area. And I tell you what, I'll tell you more about it when we take a break. I want everybody to stay tuned. This is the Kendall Moore Show. We'll be right back. Nation High and West Side Will Ride. Sit with Mr. Kendall Moore. Hey, Netta, how are you?
Amazing.
Always amazing as well. I guess, feeling amazing.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Trying to be amazing. There's a lot going on in the world.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a lot. It's a lot. So, where were you Friday night? If I'm not getting too personal with everything that's going on last Friday.
Away.
Okay. You weren't in a particular area. You sure? Because I thought I saw somebody looking like you downtown throwing a rock or something.
No, that
you
is
sure that
not
wasn't
my
you?
form of activism.
Okay.
It's not there.
All right. Well, you know what? To kick off the show right away, we actually have a caller on the line, Mr. Israel. I assume it's Bob Israel. Hey, Bob, what's up? Man, I appreciate you. Okay, so you saying they planned it? Okay. You talking about Antifa, of course. But wait a minute now. From what I saw downtown on Facebook, people went live and all film. I saw mostly white people busting out the glass. But yeah, but I think more damage was already. I think damage was already done. I think most people when they protest, they do go to the center of the city. That is where all the commerce lies. So, but yep, I remember that. Okay. Okay. All right. So I appreciate your comment, Bob. Thank you. No problem. Thank you. You know what?
That's a great segue.
Yeah. He actually makes some points, and you know what? Yeah, that's a segue to what I wanted to talk about, because see, I've been listening to people all week say why they felt that the George Floyd situation blew up the way it did. Because look, the way I feel about it, there have been lots of black people killed on film. They've been shot by police or whatever. What made George Floyd's what made his death so I don't know, hit everybody, to the point where all of this has happened all over the nation and all over the world. I mean, they're in Denmark, in London, they're marching, and the thing is, I understand what George was saying about people downtown breaking the glass and everything. But here's the thing: white people live downtown. You know, I thought about that. We live in our neighborhoods, and I know there was some things went down in our neighborhoods. There was some things went down in all types of neighborhoods. But white people live downtown, and I think it was some white people who live downtown out there marching too, and they might have taken some things too. You know, so I'm not just going to limit it.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
because you look at
right.
the West Loop and you know the South Loop. Yeah, I think some of that snuck up in there. It wasn't just only black people. You
Peaceful
know,
protesting or
Right.
looting or anything else.
And-
Like this was
right, and that's why you see white people busting the glass at Macy's, you know, and Carson Perry Scott and Target down there on Sixth Street. I don't necessarily think we would have did that. I mean, I'm just
There
saying.
were
I'm
definitely
not
some
saying
rogue folks. There
yeah.
were some people either planned intentionally, like specifically coming to Chicago to cause harm, to cause destruction.
Right, and there's always some outsiders that come and cause agitation. I've heard about Antifa, and I think it's odd when you see somebody dressed in all black and everything like that. So here's the thing with me. I looked at the situation from what just happened, what's going on right now, all the way to the very beginning, because that's what I like to do. I like to dissect the situation. And you know what? This situation started, of course, in China with the COVID-19 situation. And then in January, February, and March, when people over here in America started to get infected. And then by early March, this is just my theory, by early March, we had started hearing people here in Illinois getting infected, you know, and people in New York, and then people in LA. By the time the March 20 elections came around, which was like 10 weeks ago, can you guys believe that was 10 weeks ago? That was a quarter at DePaul University. Shout out. That was a quarter. The quarter's rough, ain't they, Naya? We was just talking about that quarter's rough. Look here. Don't go there if you ain't ready. But anyway, I mean, that was 10 weeks ago, and toward the March 20th election, by the 23rd, which was when we aired that first show, we all went into quarantine. You know, people could not go back to work that Monday. Everything was shut down, all types of business, commerce, and then that's when we started social distancing, right? Okay, so what happened? People had to spend time at home with their families, because here's the thing, you couldn't go to the movies. You couldn't go to dinner with your friends, go to the bar, go out in the park with your friends. People weren't doing it, but they were socially distanced. If they were throwing a ball, or they was just with their people. You couldn't go to any sports arenas, and it wasn't any TV being on. It wasn't any sports on television. You know, you actually had to commingle with people. You actually had to start communicating with people. You know, we don't really think about it, but a lot of stuff that we do, that we were doing at that time, even though it was together, we were really apart. Black people have been getting murdered and killed on tape, especially in the last 10 years with social media there. That's been happening to us for a while. But I'm going to finish explaining this when we come back from the break, everybody. Just stay tuned on the Kendall Moore Show.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's our...
Welcome back to the Kendall Moore Show on WVON 1690 AM. We're talking Chicago, the voice of the nation. That was Tupac, the late great Tupac, and that is Me Against the World. Such a poetic song.
Wisdom.
Yes,
So much wisdom.
for today. And for those of you who want to make a comment, please feel free to call in. Our number is 773-591-1690. We got our old number back if you did not know. So definitely call us back in, or call us in. So let me try to get to the point for you folks, because I know we were talking about why was the George Floyd murder, and I call it a murder, so different. Why did you see white people and Latino people, or even some Asian people out there protesting? Why are they protesting all over the world? Trayvon Martin was killed. They didn't protest like this for him. They didn't protest like this for Sandra Bland. They didn't protest like this for I can't remember the other young man's name who got shot by the police officer with his little girl in the back, and he actually had that on film. Philandro Castile. Why? What makes this situation so different? What makes this situation so different is because during COVID-19, we were all in the house. We couldn't do any other extracurricular activities. We were everything that was a distraction to us now was gone. And now what we had to do was concentrate on what was there in front of our face. We had to connect with each other. So, and that is really why this took off, because for the first time, people noticed that. They saw, when this happened to somebody a year ago, they would say, oh, that's a shame. But, well, I got to go to dinner with my friend. Oh, that's too bad. Well, I got tickets for this ball game. Oh, man, I hate that that's happening. Okay, I'm going to the bar. Some people were saying, they're exaggerating. Look what the guy's doing. Look at this. But see, once all that got taken away, and once you had to start concentrating and connecting with each other, that is when you became desensitized. You took the blinders off like a horse. Now you had to look left and right rather than just straight ahead on where you wanted to go and look at everybody else. Welcome back to the human race, everyone. Your humanity has been restored. We hope that you stay with us for a while. And that is why I feel the George Floyd situation, the murder, really took off. For the first time, people who couldn't do anything else were reduced. The COVID-19 was the great equalizer.
And that makes sense, but even in that, because I'm just thinking about, we found out about Ahmaud Arbery during this quarantine. We found out about Breonna Taylor during this quarantine, which today is her birthday, and at least as of now, those officers still haven't been charged. So those were two incidences before George Floyd that happened inside this pandemic
They
silo.
happened before it, actually. But they happened before it, actually.
Right,
But
they didn't really.
Right, but I'm saying we were in
Right.
that quarantine. We were in, with the blinders off. So
Mhm.
I'm still, like, that happened while we were in this,
yes.
just like George Floyd. So I'm trying to pinpoint, what was it that made his murder different this time around? Like, yes, people petitioned, yes, people protested for the others, yes, people spoke out, but this just took on another life of its own. Like, what was it? Was it, it can't just be the video, because like you said, we've seen video time and time again over the years. So what was it about this moment, this time, that made it different to where now, like, stuff is really moving. Like, we are seeing a different level of change right now.
Right.
I feel like this time, what struck me personally about it, because I tried not to watch the video. I accidentally saw the video. I thought it was a synopsis, and it turned out to be the video. I was like, oh, great. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
But what struck me about the video was a couple of things. One, there were so many people crying out for him.
Exactly.
So you can put yourself in that situation, and you're just like when you watch a movie, you're like, wait, don't go there, don't stop. You wanted the cop to get off of him, and you hear other people crying for his life, like, get off of him. So you can actually interject yourself into that situation. And then the other thing is, a lot of times there are guns involved. There were no guns involved with this. We're so desensitized to guns. This was a man holding another man down until he died.
Exactly. And he even shifted his weight on him. So, and that's the thing right there. It wasn't that black people have always stood up and protested when one of our own was murdered, and nobody really joined us. You had a few white people, a few Latinos, a few other people join us, but never at this capacity, because all of their pleasures, their personal pleasures, everybody's personal pleasures was taken away from them, and we had to connect to humanity. Now, all I could do was focus on social issues. I had to watch my children. I had to now sit with my wife, and even if we didn't get along, I had to be with her. I had to be with my significant other. We had to connect. But hey, we got a caller on the line named Kurt and Rose and Susan. I'm going to get to you. Please hold on.
Nobody's doing anything. So how Netta said, you want to come through your computer screen, your phone screen, and like help him, get off him. And there were people who were right there on the ground who didn't do anything.
They tried, though. They were talking to him.
They saw it in real time.
They were talking to him, and that's just the thing, He didn't listen because he was the police, and they right all the time. And I'm not against the police, Like I said, I have friends who are police officers. I have family members. But some people overdo it, and I believe he overdid it without a doubt.
There's no talk. It's like who didn't feel empowered enough
Right.
to grab this officer? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, maybe if it was a white guy talking to him, he would have considered it. So
I don't know. There was a white lady on the curb and they kept pushing her back as well.
yeah,
So.
yeah. So people not being able to do anything, and they had to concentrate on what was human,
Absolutely.
and they emotionally responded. We're going to take another break. We will be right back to finish up this segment. Bill, Lorenzo, Eric, we're going to try to get to you. Please stay on the line. Thank you. This is the Kendall Moore Show. You got to really be more involved in your community, and you got to know your neighbors. I mean, that's really what you're going to have to do. To be honest with you, nobody's going to save black people except black people, and we have to start getting back to how it was. And that's what we basically are doing now. But hopefully when we really come out of this, we join our community organizations. Join the NAACP. Start a block club. Know your neighbors. Stop being so secretive to the point, you know what I mean? It could be your neighbor's son down there acting up. And I'm pretty sure if you build a relationship with your neighbors, you know what I mean, he will respect you, or that parent will make them respect you to the point where they will stop that. They got to respect their neighborhood, respect their block.
It's always interesting to me how when things like this happen, people try to change the subject.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect to the caller, but
Yeah.
George Floyd's death
Mm-hmm.
does not mean less just because we also have black on black crime.
Right, because
And
there's no
vice
such thing
versa.
as black on black crime.
To me, it's the same thing as when we have the Black Lives Matter
Mm-hmm.
conversation, and then people try to switch it to All Lives Matter,
Right.
or Blue Lives Matter, or Dogs Lives Matter.
Right.
Like, we are talking about black lives.
Right.
We're talking about police brutality. It is also an issue that there is violence in our community,
Mm-hmm.
that we keep pulling each other down. If that's something that you're so concerned about, you do something about it.
Exactly.
You don't have to wait for it to be a viral hashtag for you to start being active in that arena.
Join an organization.
Start an
And y'all be on the
organization.
same. Start an organization.
something.
Exactly. Go door to door, meet your neighbors. Tell them, you know, you want to have people do a watch day or something.
But just don't use
Yeah.
a tragic situation as the impetus to change the subject to whatever other.
Right.
what about
Subject.
black on black crime?
Right.
Exactly. They're both issues.
To me,
From the same tree.
yeah, because to me, honestly, when a person says, well, and you black, and you say there's black on black crime, you know, to me, that's kind of like you hate yourself. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'll tell you why. There's white on white crime. We don't kill, there's Latino on Latino crime. There's actually Asian on Asian crime. The thing is, we don't kill ourselves for the same reason. And everybody is different. White people might kill each other for the inheritance. See what I'm saying?
I mean,
I'm serious. Let's keep it real.
black
Death
people
is bad.
inheritances too.
But
you know
I'm
what
just saying, on different economic levels,
That's-
there are different types. People kill differently. I remember reading an article by a psychologist. I can't remember her name some years ago. But different ethnicities do things differently based on those circumstances.
And if you're killing people in your neighborhood, if you are a white person,
right,
and you're in a white neighborhood, the person that you're going to kill is likely going to be white.
Yeah.
So if you are a black person killing in your neighborhood, you are likely going to kill another black person.
Yeah.
So it's
because you live next door to him. You know, if he's sleeping with your wife, I'm not trying to be joking, I shouldn't, but you know what I'm saying. You might have that tendency to want to fight that person or whatever. But
And
you know, I'm
also,
just saying.
It's so crazy because it's the conditioning. White on white crime isn't even a thing.
Okay.
Black on black crime is the tagline, right?
Because we like to
because
use that
we
because
only
we don't
kill
know.
each other.
Because we don't know.
That's just crazy to me. It's the same. The black person's the villain. The black guy is
Yeah, exactly.
the dark skinned person. Black on black crime. Every race has crime against other people of their race.
Because we're going to go on break right now, folks, but let me just say this really quick. It's because we've been conditioned to hate ourselves. Okay, hey, we're going to take a break really quick, and we'll be back in the 7 o'clock hour, folks, with the Kendall Moore Show.
In the midst of all this chaos,
Yes.
Mhm.
WVON, how are you guys doing out there? Hopefully you holding it together as well. We all we got.
That's right.
and
we
that's
all-
right.
literal. Like if we didn't know it before, we
Yeah.
know it this week. We are all we got.
That's right. To
Absolutely.
quote Public Enemy's song, Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos.
Yeah.
That's one of my songs. You know,
You
you can
want-
bring it up, Deb.
You want to start rapping and singing?
Hey, look here, Public Enemy. That's another song, iconic.
Okay.
It's, 30 years old, but today so still relevant. You know, Public Enemy. They had the foresight.
They knew.
So we were talking about people being on quarantine, COVID, everybody in the house, and
Mhm.
how that was possibly a reason why everyone was able to see clearly what's going on and get behind this cause together. I want to talk about the response to COVID versus the response to these protests.
Yes.
Because for the last 5-6 months, the entire world has been losing their mind over COVID-19. The United States has made it seem like it is the end of our world as we know it. Yet, the response to COVID, which is a public health emergency, it's so deadly. You're so concerned about these people and their health and their safety. You did none of the things that you did with these protests. And most of them were peaceful protests. So why was it that they pulled out all the stops to stop people from protesting injustice in this country, but COVID-19, which is such a horrible occurrence,
Right.
they were just kind of twiddling their thumbs and having these mamby-pamby responses?
COVID-19 stopped the world, quote
Yeah.
unquote,
Yeah.
but didn't stop CTA.
Mhm.
Trains were running every day.
Well, institutional structures had to keep happening. You know, you had to have a store open. You got to eat. And
Which
if
is
you had to
true.
go
Which,
to work,
which all of that is
people
true.
had
People
to.
still had to go to work. We still had to get to the grocery store. Fine. But this weekend, it's amazing how suddenly the trains from the south side
Gone.
to downtown and beyond just shut down. Just stop.
well, this weekend, I mean, think about it though. And I'm not making an excuse, but I mean, we had the protests going on. They were just probably trying to stop people from going back and forth. And
Well,
tearing up the
that's our
CTA.
point. They shut everything down
Right.
for the protest,
Mhm.
but they didn't shut all those things down for COVID-19. That's
To
killing
stop people
everybody.
from dying.
That's the
Because
whole
we
point.
were all dying.
So you're an asymptomatic carrier.
Mhm.
You're a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
You can go give it to someone and then they die from it. That is a serious thing. You don't even know that you're deadly.
Well, without a doubt, I'm
And
pretty
they let
sure there were
everything
people
go.
walking around with it.
Please stay at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Please wear a cloth mask.
Yep. Without a doubt. I mean,
Please self quarantine.
we're
But as soon as black people get mad, you shut down the whole city. You raise bridges.
okay.
You sit out the National Guard.
I understand where you're coming from.
What's
with
the
that.
difference?
I think the difference is quantity of individuals and how one situation affects everybody else. Like that wasn't the whole world out there protesting, but it seemed like the whole world. But also when you look at COVID-19, it's the gift that just kept on giving. You know, if I touch you and you go touch 10 people, they got it. And they each people
You don't
touched
find
it.
that as a reason to shut things down?
Yeah, but could you really afford to shut down
Obviously,
a grocery store?
Obviously they could afford it because they did it. They did it this past week.
They did,
They can
yeah.
afford it.
They shut it
So
down
they
now,
should've
but I
shut
think
it
that
down.
wasn't by choice. That wasn't by choice.
If they had done it by choice with
Mhm.
COVID, so many people probably wouldn't be dead. If they had done it by choice with COVID. So now all of these people are dead from this virus, and it's still a problem.
It's still a problem. It's still out there. People are not wearing their mask, and I didn't see people wearing their masks during
At the
protests.
protest.
And people asked me, "Was I going down?"
So
I'm
now
like,
you know what's
"No."
going to happen. In a couple weeks, they're going to say the case has exploded.
I hope not. I hope not. But
I highly
remember
doubt it,
that big party
if I can be honest.
a month ago? Yeah,
That
we did.
party, those people are fine.
But they just said they had 19,000 in cases.
19,000 in the whole United States. That's less than 400 per state. That's nothing.
I understand
Stop
that,
it.
but that's enough. I don't want you buying me.
That's nothing.
That's enough. I understand where you're
But
coming
then if
from.
that's the case, why even allow us to have protests, whether here or DC or anywhere else?
They
Why
can't
even
allow you to
people-
have nothing. You do
Yeah.
it because it's your right. And that's what they did. And the city was going into phase 3 anyway, but you gotta understand that protest when George Floyd was murdered, that sparked an emotion in people. you know, and they said, no, we got to do something about it. A lot of people always say, man, don't get emotional, don't get emotional. I know people on the station who I know, they say don't get emotional. I believe in getting emotional, but I do not believe in getting emotional and get destructive. You got to focus your emotion and focus your anger, you know. But it was a lot of agitators down there, but that's what happened to the world.
It's just, my point is, everything they said they couldn't do, they proved that they could do. Everything they said they couldn't do. Let's even backtrack a little bit further. The resources that kids get in school. They don't have enough resources or money to give these kids tablets and what have you.
Right.
As soon as COVID happened, everybody's at home.
The
everybody
money was
got
there,
tablets.
and you're right. It was shady for that. It was shady for that. I agree with you on that.
It's the underlay.
And the polar rollers. How do we get them off our back? And the solution that we posed last week, and if you have been reading the papers lately, it's about the Fraternal Order of Police who protect these people, these guys, these police officers who constantly are violating violating people. You know, we have to enact legislation to stop them, because what they do is they fund. Okay, so we gotta take a break. When we come back, hopefully I can go into detail about that. I know we went off subject, but we're gonna take a break and we'll come right back, folks.
Quick shout out to Bambi, Campbell, Antoine, and Chapearl, giving us some love on our Facebook feed.
Thank y'all.
Make sure you check us out. We are live on Facebook. Or give us a call, 773-591-1690. We always love to hear from you. Will, what we gonna do? A lot of people are calling in talking about solutions, and we have a lot of solutions that we could lay on the table. But I really think it's important for us to fully understand the problem before we can start spelling any solutions out.
Right. I mean, I agree. And like I said, I didn't mean to change the subject. I just wanted to say, look, like I said last week, the Fraternal Order of Police fund, they do a lot of great things for police officers' families, police officers who are fallen in line of duty. God bless the police officers, but there are some police officers that are bad. They pay union dues, and they set up law firms to defend them. So a guy who's a constant offender, he's shot somebody or beat somebody up. He done went to court 2 or 3 times and got off. You know, they don't take that into consideration. They just look at the fact that he pays dues. You know, but they put him right back out there on the street. Chauvin had already had 2 or 3 violations. The other guy too. You know what? He wasn't worried about nothing because he knew that the Fraternal Order of Police had a lawyer, some of the best lawyers on retainer to protect him. Take it to the Fraternal Order of Police. Call the National Order of Police. Stop funding them. They are
You've been saying that a few
They
weeks.
are a 501c3.
Yeah.
They need a 501c3. They do fundraising. Major companies fund them. Now, I'm not against the police. Okay, I am not against the police. I love the police. We need order in the country. I am not for police brutality, and they know who they are. And that's what you have to do. You have to take it to the Fraternal Order of Police and make them change their internal mechanisms.
Yeah.
But you know what? And I think one of the, when I mentioned at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, how I'm feeling hopeful, that's one of the things that I'm hopeful about, because now that is being interjected into the conversations. Like, people aren't just saying Black Lives Matter, we're protesting for these Black Lives lost, but they're also saying we need to defund the police.
Yes,
exactly.
Like, people are physically saying that now. So I think it's, you know, like we said earlier, the straw that broke the camel's back, like, all of that is coming to the surface now.
Yes, and many of the police officers, and you see they kneeling now?
Yes,
They're kneeling.
I've seen that.
Because I had a police officer friend of mine tell me yesterday, he's retired, white man. He said what that guy did was wrong. He says there are some police officers that do get caught in the moment and they might do something that's crazy. But he said he was looking at that guy. That guy was looking at his watch, and he said, nah, that guy was on something else. He said he told me he was sorry. I'm like, what? He was apologizing. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely more to that story. I can't wait to see how that unfolds, because
Yeah.
didn't they know each other?
They say they didn't know each other, but I find it hard to believe. I was a bouncer, and I know you get to know the guys, the real police officers. I'm not a police officer, you know, but you know you got to go get them
Yeah.
if something happens.
Let me take Stephen on the line. Stephen, thanks for holding.
Welcome back. It's the Kendall Moore Show, WVON 1690, streaming live on WVON.com, iHeartRadio.com, and of course, you can check us out on thekendallmooreshow.com. Shout out to all of our Facebook viewers, listeners, checking us out live. If you are not watching us live, hop over to our Facebook page now. Check us out. You can see me, Sandria. You can see Netta Beretta doing her selfie right now.
Yes. I haven't done selfies in a while.
I know.
Social media been dry.
And Westside Will, the sweaters are on hiatus because it is hot than mug right now.
Yes, it's polos now.
That's
Right. When the sweater can't be on top, the polo is always ready to go.
We gotta get some
right.
sweater vest with no shirt on.
Oh, yes.
So what polo will I be wearing next week? What color?
Look,
Today is Chicago blue.
It is
Chicago blue because it's about Chicago.
Y'all came themes.
That's right.
You got your Chicago blue. Netta is ready with the red, black, and green.
It's Juneteenth all month.
Look, all month, all year.
All right,
At this
all right.
point, the rest of 2020, everybody was ready to cancel 2020, but it's like, no, it's about to be red, black, and green. That's happening right now in the country, even here locally in Chicago. Right before the break, we had a caller who got us into the conversation about celebrities and activism, and it just got us thinking about, these celebrities, they have so much influence, so many followers, social media, and so we look to them because they have the platforms, they have the voices, they have the money, the backing, the support. But in times like these, how much should we be looking to our celebrities and notable figures? So like right before the break, we talked about Drew Brees. And that's somebody that you don't want to be listening to right now. This should not be your celebrity voice during this time because it was just extremely tone deaf. He's more concerned about disrespecting the flag rather than disrespecting lives.
We had
Actual
the conversation so many times. This has nothing to do with the flag. So for him to rehash that argument is just so ridiculous right now. He needs to be the poster child for we ain't hearing what you're talking about.
Right. And to say that kneeling is disrespectful, it's like, well, so when the cop was kneeling
on his neck.
On the neck, that wasn't disrespect.
But we can't kneel. We can't protest.
Right.
We can't riot. We can't do anything right by people. There was even a reporter who was berating a black celebrity for doing something and then praising Drew Brees, like, oh, well, he just gets to speak for himself. And he has a right to do that.
It's so selective.
Well, those are, I'll figure, what do you call them at work? Are they the snitches or I don't want to say, it's another word for them. The butt kissers. Because that's what it seemed like to me. It just seemed to me when Drew Brees made that comment, he was just trying to please the NFL owners.
When he made which comment?
When he made the comment about kneeling,
But the NFL has turned.
They've had to double back.
But after he said that, they disciplined him on that. But he's probably just one of those guys. And my family in New Orleans, I know they love the Saints, but I think he just was kissing up to what he thought the owners might feel. Was right. Then they said no.
They leaving him holding the bag because now they're doubling back.
Right. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick gonna be there next year.
I'm just tired of accepting these people's apologies.
Yeah.
You knew what you were saying when you said it.
Oh yeah.
You're not sorry, and I don't care.
He was confident. Like he had a whole story about his grandfather. Like he had the whole narrative. He knew. Yeah, he very clear.
Okay.
But that's one of the things I think even during this week, it has shown us who people really, really are. And not just celebrities, but even the people in our own circles or our social media networks. Like you really got to see how people think, how people feel. And even like when we talk about activism police. So, everything that's going on this week, people want to police how other people are responding. Like they want to police your response. Are you angry enough? Are you sad? Are you speaking out? Is so and so speak? Where's Oprah? Where's
Puff
this
Daddy?
person and that? Where's Puff Daddy? Who's doing what? And it's like, well, what are you doing individually while you're at home behind your keyboard? What are you doing in your community? How are you advancing anything, including this conversation, forward? But it's like we're so quick to want to police and look to celebrities.
Yeah, I agree. So you're obviously referring to Don Lemon and his statement as he made. He was talking about where's Oprah, where's Tyler Perry, where's P. Diddy at a time like this, And I understand he's a news person and everything, but they are celebrities, and they're very successful celebrities. But and I'm pretty sure they do things behind the scenes that we don't know about.
And is that okay, or do we need them to be vocal?
I think it's okay that they do things behind the scenes. You don't have to televise and make viral videos about everything that you do. I just find it really disheartening that these people have such a loud voice about trivial matters, and when the world is crying out and their fan base needs somebody who they look to, they have nothing to say.
Yep.
I'm even upset with the pastors. Where have these mega church pastors who always have their hands out? Where have they been during COVID and all this other unrest that's been going on?
They've been trying to figure out how they're going to keep their churches open because
they've been trying to figure out how they're going to keep
mortgages.
their salaries going.
Yeah.
How about that?
They got mortgages. They got to
But
pay for
still
their nice
speak to the
houses
people.
and their cars.
The people, we're going through it too. So when you're a leader and you're going through it, your people want to still hear from you because you're still the leader.
Yeah.
And people are still looking for direction.
Absolutely. You just left us out to dry because you don't know what to do now. Well, how much of a leader are you if you can't lead in times of turmoil?
Well, they might be worried that I might hit them up for $20 or something. And then if I ask them for $20, somebody else gonna ask them for $20.
And that's when they come back with the, "I'm gonna pray for you."
I'm a
Yeah.
The Lord's gonna.
But for me, this week it's like I really had to focus on, okay, what can I do? Like I can't wait until Mayor Lightfoot says we're going to send more police to 55th Street or to 47th Street or whatever. I can't wait until some celebrity infuses funds. Like, what can we do? Because we're the only ones who can save ourselves. So it's like this week I've seen so many people that I know personally roll up their sleeves and say, okay, I can make sandwiches.
Right.
I can deliver meals. I can help you board up Black businesses. I can make Black-owned business signs because I have a printing company. Like, what can we do individually? Because we can't wait for somebody to fix it. We were waiting, all these stores that were destroyed in our neighborhoods, they would still be windows busted out, glass on the ground, waiting for somebody to come clean up. It's like, no, we have to get up and go clean up.
Yeah.
And it hurts that we have to clean up behind other people. But you know what? If we want to see the change, if we want our communities to be better, we have to do the necessary work.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to now rebuild our communities, our infrastructure in our communities, and get our economic advantage back, so that we will have better legislative representation. Here's the thing: we're in Chicago, and we have very prominent and well-known Black business people. We have John Rogers, we have Willie Wilson, we have Elsie Higginbottom. There's people out here Black with money. This is an opportunity to use all of these these young African American people who are educated, especially who have MBAs, who work for somebody at a crappy job. This is a time now you can bankroll them and fund them and give them an opportunity to own their own business so that they can really contribute economically, not only to their communities, but to the base period, and I think, to replace a mom and pop store would probably cost you about $10,000-$15,000. You help this guy get a license. Once you got an MBA in operations, so you know how to manage. You can manage a mom and pop store that'll probably bring in $1 million, $2 million a year. See what I'm saying?
Right.
You can bankroll him. John Rogers, I'm just throwing names out there. You ain't gotta, hey, I know they probably listening, but I'm just saying, this is your opportunity to bankroll somebody who you know is qualified, who can open up their own mom and pop store that will replace that store that was probably not theirs to begin with. See what I'm saying? Will it? You pay people taxes, but you got young people out here. You got people out here who got management degrees. You know, you run a well-known medical operation. Why don't you buy some of these stores, these little mom and pop stores, and hire people to run them, and they can pay you rent or mortgage to buy it. You know, and then they can be self-sustaining. You know what I mean? This is our opportunity. You know what I mean?
And I think people are starting to see it that way. Like,
Right.
a lot of what's been coming across my feed is support Black, buy Black. Like, let's really put some momentum behind it.
Yeah, we can replace the laundromats with our laundromats. We probably don't own them anyway. That were broken in, because they'll probably never come back. We can replace the car washes and make them ours. It doesn't take much to run those, but that's our economic infrastructure within our communities. Why we got to 9 times out of 10 we didn't own any of those stores that was burnt out, and I don't agree with what happened. But here's the thing: what are their chances of coming back? And if they do come back, Black people will be in the same position they've always been in economically. We won't have no money. They're not going to hire us. We have to fund each other so that we can hire each other. And I'm just saying, I know Willie, you pay people taxes, and there's people out there owe $5,000, $10,000 in taxes. Why don't you give a young Black man, a young Black woman who has a master's degree in business or even a BA in business, give them an opportunity to run a little mom and pop store. It'll be good training. That store will definitely make money because all they do is sell us hot chips and bad ground beef anyway. Hell, we should be selling our own people that if that's going to be the case.
Well, let's not do that either.
But I'm just saying, I'm exaggerating, but I'm serious.
Right.
Why do I got this dude who lives all the way out in the suburbs coming to the city making money off me, and then he goes send his kids to college and they got jobs? You know what I'm saying? And I got a degree. I got 3 degrees. And I'm going to work for somebody who will never give me the promotion. They'll never give me the accolades I deserve on my job. They'll find every excuse not to promote me, and I've been there. But Willie, John Rogers, a lot of you guys who I know got that money, you can bankroll a guy like me or people like you, Sandra, and Netta, and other people out there I know who are college educated and able, and they can hire other Black people who can they can go to college and they can contribute to the community. I'm just putting it out there.
Will, guess what? You got money too. Why don't you bankroll something?
Maybe I will. Maybe I will, but this is the opportunity.
And when we
This is the
say
opportunity.
bankroll, but you know what? That's a good point, because I think we always think in large sums of money.
Right.
But even if you have a little bit, what can you do? iHeartRadio.com, and we are on Facebook Live right now, continuing the conversation. We're going to go back to the phone lines with Chris. Chris, are you here? Good evening.
Hello.
Hey. I agree. You know, what's that? Federal savings and loan.
Mm-hmm.
That's overall, South Side, definitely, man. And there just needs to be something invested in a pot for people who could go out there and start their own store. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's where it starts. That's where economic freedom starts. You know, we had all of that 30 years
They
ago.
keep taking it away from us.
Well, yeah.
So do we have a fear of trying to build it again?
I think there is a fear of trying and then having it snatched away from you. So to that end, a lot of times people will not give 100% effort because they already in the back of their mind think it's going to be taken away.
Yeah.
We have to overcome that fear and work together and push past it, because I feel like today they can't pull Tulsa, Oklahoma on us today.
Yeah.
You know, they can't pull a Rosewood on us again. We have the power of numbers. We have the evolution of the system.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we're still fighting the system, we're farther along now. So if we all do put our efforts together, put our resources together, we can make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I definitely agree with you, but here's the thing with that: economic development and freedom also comes with ownership of property, because most owners of businesses generally are property owners. And they use the equity in their homes to start that business. So that's very important. So you have to see structurally how they have put us in a bag. Your education system gets broken down. You don't go to college. You don't read or write very well. You don't get in a job where now you can earn enough money to buy a house. Okay, and if I break your family structure up, okay, I'm sounding conspiracy like now, but I'm telling the truth. If I break your family structure up, where the black man and the black woman don't want to work together to have something, then you living in an apartment, I'm living in an apartment, we refuse to work together, we have nothing, you know. But most business owners own property, and they use the equity in their homes to start a business. They take that $5,000 or they take that $10,000 out. So it's important. Home ownership is important, but it's also important that we have the education system and that we have certain jobs that we can get paid quite well and support ourselves and then branch out like that. That's how they got us in trick bag, and we got to get out of it.
So then to the
We mess around and we lose our homes, you know, because the kids, and I talked to Kendall about this in earlier shows, the kids don't want to take care of their home. Don't you understand history to that? And it's a gift. It's your inheritance. We always talk about inheritance and black wealth being passed down, which comes with property.
Well, we have to teach them the value of that, because
Exactly.
a lot of people who have generational wealth, it came from owning property.
Exactly.
So if the kids just think it's a liability and they don't see the long-term benefits of keeping land and property in your family, then of course they're gonna rent. They're
We
gonna
have to teach that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to the mind show, rounding out tonight's session. If you missed any of the conversation, if you missed any of our past shows, please visit the Kendall Moore website, www.thekendallmooreshow.com. You can check out past episodes on our podcast. You can also go to our Facebook page and check out video from tonight if you missed the earlier parts of the show. But as we close out this hour, as we close out this show, you know, we want to give people a little bit of hope. A lot of us are probably feeling like, what can we do? We're a mix of emotions. We're not sure how to get in, where we fit in. What can we do? And so I just want to remind everybody and encourage everybody that on social media, the unfollow button, the unfriend button, it is your friend. Go into the rest of the weekend and next week and all the days henceforth using your right to unfriend and unfollow drastically. Have y'all had
showing their true
because you are
colors.
seeing people for who they are.
There is no question now.
Have y'all had to unfriend anybody this week?
I have unfriended. I've blocked some people. But sometimes
Yeah,
you just gotta
don't
block.
forget block.
You
You
just
can
don't even
temporary
want.
block people now.
I don't want
And you can
temporary-
mute people, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to unfriend. Like, why are you my friend? You do not care about black people.
You know what? I respect someone's political opinion because it's what I do. You know, so if you're Republican, it's okay. It's when you start name calling and you just start saying something like Candace, something really stupid. Yeah, I'll unfriend you then. I won't be bothered with you.
If it's like a all lives matter type thing, but he was a criminal type thing.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Right.
I don't want to accidentally
You want to
ask you back in a
argue
year.
back and forth. I'm not going
I believe we're only human. Everybody has made bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, there's also tape out here of George Floyd going live and talking to young people. I know my friend Jim Allen, he plays it all the time. Shout out to Jim Allen. And George Floyd was talking to young people, saying, y'all, that he was a mentor. He realized he made mistakes. It's a lot of young, and that's what holds black men back. You know, you committed a crime, you did wrong, you paid the cost for it, and then you go 10 years, 20 years, you can't find a decent job and somebody always holding that over your head. When do you let that go? If this person's been clean 10, 15 years, they just want to work, why do you continue to hold that against them? And they only do it to black men. And that's why we need our own economic ecosystem. So when you get out of prison, I can hire you for $15 to $20 an hour. You know what I mean? Because I understand, because that's what other people do. And we need to do that.
This is our time, y'all. We need to step up.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. I was watching the Sandra Bland documentary. It's on HBO now. I hadn't seen it before, so I finally watched it this week. And I was reminded of how her bail bond was only $500. And it seemed in the way that they were telling the story that the money didn't come immediately. And to me, that just broke my heart because it's like, man, $500, $1,000, like that shouldn't. Stop
that
us
was
from
no excuse
helping.
for her to.
But no, and I'm not saying an excuse. I'm just
Right.
saying
No, I'm
we,
not saying you
we
make an
need to be
excuse.
economically
Right.
just so we can go to our families and our friends and people have that type of money on hand.
Yes.
Right.
So like this week, a lot of people have been asking, donate to different bail funds and bail fund projects because of things like that. Like $100, $200, $500 shouldn't be
Right.
a big deal. But for a lot of people, as we're unemployed or living
Right.
check to check, $500 can sound like $5 million.
So here's my thing with that. Right now, we're reading that a lot of celebrities are now donating money to all these organizations.
Right.
I want to make sure that all that money that Michael Jordan donates or Oprah donates, it goes to black organizations
Yeah.
in the black community. They can friend somebody of a black organization, a black community that they can trust, like John Rogers or Willie Wilson. They can do that to make sure the money is in our hands. Because when you give it to some of these huge non-for-profit organizations, they ran by people who are not like us, and it gets funneled, and the money dwindles as it goes down the
Right.
pipeline. It gets less and less and less because they pay other people's salary. So by the time they get to you, they might have donated $100. You only get $10. By the time
Go
they
direct
get
to
to
the
you,
source. Go
it
direct
goes
to
direct
the
to
source.
the source. So all that money y'all donate, make sure y'all put it in these black organizations' hands, because that's what's going to make the difference.
So as we go into the week, how are y'all going into this next week?
I want to get out here and help some of these black businesses, and I know a few people whose businesses were destroyed. Get out here and just put on some boots and some gloves and help clean up some things. We
Yeah.
help us.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect opportunity. Don't take any money to do that. And real quick, just want to give a shout out to AHS.
Yes.
I'm wearing
Yep,
this hat.
yep.
Hashtag Stand Against Hate. AIDSHelp.org.
How about you, Will?
I'm going to be visiting a few friends, but I think Isaiah, our new intern, will be speaking tomorrow. You're going to be at Union Park tomorrow, right?
Yes,
What time are you going to be there?
Park.
11 a.m.
Okay, I'm
11
going to be
a.m.
there.
tomorrow.
But I'm going to be from a distance because if it gets crazy, look here.
Yeah.
And I've been supporting black businesses this week with my dollars, eating all the food. Shout out to Soul Shack.
Yes.
I think I had that twice.
So
And I can't believe it's not meat, both in Hyde Park. Be encouraged, everybody. We will be back next week, same time. Thank you for tuning in. It is the Kendall Moore Show.
Comes for soups and makes it
All right.
Now your time has arrived for your
Soul Shack.
Yes.
What they
And
say?
it's
That
good.
sound like
Look,
that chicken is good.
It is. I had smothered chicken wings.
I got to go there.
It's worth it. And I think they're on Grubhub.
A day after some of the NFL's most famous players
What's new?